What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today, I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this latest project from Dave East called P2 or Paranoia 2. Now, Dave East is a rapper from out of Harlem who gave us a gem when he dropped Kyrie Chanel. I just thought that was a very dope project all around. But since then, he's kind of been falling off for me. He put out the first Paranoia project. That one didn't really have anything about it that was overly memorable. And then with that last project, Karma, it was actually a mixtape. He really was just playing to the lowest common denominator. Just a bunch of synthy, trappy, braggy bangers with nothing of interest. So after I heard that this project was coming out, I was really hoping that he would get back on track, and god damn it, he definitely did. In fact, it was almost as if he listened to all the criticisms that were floating around about him and corrected the shit. Because with this, I think it's really his best project since Kyrie Chanel. I'd actually put them at about the same level. So bear with me, I got a ton of notes here, so we're just going to start off talking about the production. As I mentioned, that last mixtape was a bunch of synthy, generic, trappy shit, but this time around, he really came through with some more layered instrumentation, and it makes a big difference. On the song Prosper, you get bells, strings, and bass lines coming together to make for one of the better beats on the project. And I appreciate how this song is just about him prospering. He actually spells out prosper, P-R-O-S-P-E-R, and explains what each letter means to him. So I thought that was a pretty cool track, easily one of the standout joints. And another beat that has a lot of feeling to it is Powder. Again, this one has a very groovy bass line on it, a lot of lively drums, and I appreciate how he's spitting some grimy shit on here, but then he's also spitting about how he watches what he says and does around his daughter. He's just showing you some growth, showing you the two sides of him, letting you know that he's still on that street shit, but he's a family man now too. So he's doing his thing, he's growing up right before our eyes, and I appreciate how he's hitting us with a lot of street narrative and personal stories on this project. He really did go back to that Kyrie Chanel sound, so again, if you were turned off by him because of his recent work, especially that Karma tape, do not sleep on this project because he is back on his shit. And he even hits you with some more really dope narrative on the song Talk to Big. On this one, it's kind of like he's talking to Biggie. I mean, he's going back to his New York roots, which I definitely appreciate. And he has this one line where he says that imagining roaches in your fruity pebbles is enough to make you want to kill the judge. And I can't deny that, man. Imagine some fucking roaches crawling out of your fruity pebbles. Crawling out of anything would be bad, but if it was a bowl of cornflakes, you'd be like, these are shit anyway. But if it was Fruity Pebbles, god damn it, man, you do not fuck with someone's Fruity Pebbles. That right there is an ass kicking, so fuck the roaches for that shit. We also get a very dramatic instrumental on this track, lots of strings and horns coming together. Again, the production is much more layered and interesting. And I think Dave East also stepped his bars up on this project. For just one example, you can look at the track What Made Me, where he's actually rapping about all the different MCs who have inspired him, from the Hot Boys to Hove and beyond. So I think that was a dope track as well. There's a nice jazzy sax instrumental on this thing. There are plenty of good tracks on here. Now the storytelling is back, as I said, and I love this track, I Found Keisha. If you remember Kyrie Chanel, where he raps that song Keisha, it's all about this girl who robbed him. On this one, he finds her, and he really goes into detail about how him and his boys set her up and got her back. There's also a little bit of an eerie beat on this thing, which matches up with the feel, since they're basically hunting this girl. So I thought that was a very dope track. Love to hear his storytelling back in full force. And once again, you get that on the song Corey. Corey is just a song where he's rapping about a friend of his who kind of grew apart from him as they went their own ways. Dave was chasing his rap shit, Corey was just doing whatever he was doing, so over time they grew apart and they were no longer friends. But now Corey is trying to holler at him because he sees that Dave is doing well. Thought that was a dope idea for a song, and the lyricism and storytelling on these tracks is really showing Dave East at his best. I think this is what people want from him. That's why that Karma tape was so disappointing. You don't mind having a couple of those types of tracks on the album, which he does on here. I'm going to talk about them a bit, just those synthy generic trap tracks. But really when he plays to his strengths, he definitely sticks out from the crowd a bit more. But some of those generic tracks on here, you got that song Maintain. This is just an auto-croon fest featuring Bino Rido. He basically just sounds like one of Future's sons, so that was nothing interesting. And I Cannot really just sounds like something that was left over from Karma. Definitely a banger, and it works for those purposes, so that's all you want. You can turn up with it. But again, you know, a couple of these tracks on here, not a big deal. It's just when you make a full album of it, it really fucks you over. You also get the song Woke Up, another braggy banger featuring Tory Lanez, but I actually kind of fuck with this one. You get this twisty bass line on it that just bangs the fuck, and Tory Lanez is coming through with this very breathy hook. Thought that was an alright track and one of the better bangers on here. As for other features, you do get T.I. on the song Annoying, but he kind of let me down here. T.I. usually snaps on features, but on this one he's doing some auto-tuning for his backups. It just seems completely unnecessary, and this whole song is just about annoying girls, so that really wasn't anything that stuck out to me. Could have done without that shit. But we got Lloyd Banks snapping on Violent. He absolutely stole the show there. And I just want to say that Lloyd Banks has very quietly been one of the most consistent New York MCs. I put that on my life, man. He has been snapping for a long time. I'm not saying he's breaking the mold too much, but he's one of these guys who's always coming through with quality verses. If you've been listening to his past tapes, you know that he snaps on there. So when I say he's doing it very quietly, I'm not saying that in any type of negative way. I'm just saying he keeps it really low key, but he's snapping with his verses, man. I definitely fuck with Lloyd Banks, and I want that cold corner too. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with a 3.5 out of 5 on this one. I think it's right up there with Kyrie Chanel. They're both about the same, because he's doing everything on here that he did on that project. He's showing his versatility, doing some storytelling, giving you some bangers, street narrative, personal shit, all these things coming together to make for a pretty dope project. But in order for me to go higher, I feel like Dave East still is looking for something just to make himself stick out even more, like some type of X factor. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like there's something missing from Dave East. I feel like he's put out some good projects now, but I also feel like we haven't heard the best from him, so I'm certainly not giving a hard knock on him. I'm just saying I think he can do even better than this, and we'll see what he's going to do when he comes out with his next album. But definitely check this one out. It's one of his best projects in a while. And if you like KC, again, you're definitely going to like this. But that's all I got to say about it. You guys can check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comment section with your thoughts. And of course, make sure you check out all my social media sites, man. Show me love and show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.